Ramesh from Central Academy, Mau.
Good morning. This is Ajit Kaur from.
Good morning, this is Geeta Mohan from.
Good morning. This is Suresh Tangarajan from.
Good morning. This is Bharat Kapoor.
Good morning. This is Shilpi Chattopadhyay.
Good morning. This is Shuman Roy.
Good morning. This is Upanda Vikas from Stonewall School.
Good morning. This is I am Grace, Sister Grace CMD.
I press this. Yeah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the webinar on hospitality management organized by the CISC New Delhi. Before we begin the session for today, let us put into place a few etiquette that needs to be followed for these online webinars. I would request all of you to put your microphones on mute. Also put your mobile phones either on silent or on switch them off. While a speaker is talking, we would like to request the audience to be quiet and not disturb the flow of the session. If anyone has a query, or you would like to express an opinion, or you would like to say something, please use the chat box below and you may write your comment. So without further ado, I will now hand you over to Mr. Aratun, the Chief Executive and Secretary of the CISC, for the opening remarks. Mr. Aratun, sir.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to all our principals, teachers, students, and other stakeholders who have joined this CISC webinar on hospitality management today. CISCE had introduced this new skill-based subject at the ICSE and ISC levels from the examination year 2021 onwards. To emphasize the growing importance and vast potentials of this new subject and the allied industries associated with it, we have with us this morning Mr. Abdullah Ahmad, who is a hospitality graduate from Robert Gordon University, Scotland, UK. Brings a wide experience of 22 years in the field of training, teaching, and strategy. He started his career with the Oberoi's Amar Vilas in operations and moved over to training. He has contributed papers for UK publications, Staff and Educational Development Association, in order to improve innovation in the field of education. He is the executive member of International Hospitality Council, London, working and promoting hospitality among the students across the globe. Mr. Abdullah Ahmad is also a fellow of IIHM, International College of the Distinguished Fellows. He is presently the Chief Operating Officer of IIHM Hotel School Group. IIHM The full form is International Institute of Hotel Management, has campuses in many of the cities in India and abroad. Following a truly international curriculum, IIHM offers a BSc Honours in International Hospitality Management from the University of West London. UK students are also awarded a Bachelor of Arts in Tourism Studies from IGNOU. In keeping with the NEP 2020 and skilling students with hospitality skills, the IIHM has launched IIHM Institute of Hospitality Skills under the National Skill Development Corporation and Tourism and Hospitality Skill Council. There is much that IIHM is doing, which you may read about on its official website. Mr. Abdullah Ahmed will make a presentation on the importance and relevance of this subject. From the industry point of view, he will also provide relevant information to heads of schools who would like to introduce this subject, that is, the requisite amenities required, the teacher qualification, laboratories, kitchen, etc. Over to Mr. Abdullah Ahmed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aratun. Such a pleasure to be here this morning addressing all of you. And it's an absolute pleasure for me to be speaking to all of you here across the country. Thank you, Mr. Aratun, for inviting us to share about the options and opportunities that we have in hospitality. On behalf of Dr. Bose, the chairman and CEO of IIHM Hotel School, I take this opportunity to once again wish all of you the fraternity this morning, and good morning to all of you. So as I go by, I think what I'm going to do is this 1 hour I'm going to split in basically 2 parts. The first part will be, I will be talking about careers in hospitality, and I'll be talking about what we do as an institution. For 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you about the college so that you know exactly where we come from and what exactly we are doing. We are subject matter experts in the field of hospitality, and we are the largest networked college around the world. So I'm going to give you that information in the first 5 to 6 minutes, followed by a presentation on careers in hospitality, where I'm going to give you a lot of information. So all those of you, I request, because there's a lot of information that I would say, of course, this is being recorded. If you could take a copy and a pen, because I'm going to give you a lot of information that you can copy it down, which will help you understand careers as such in hospitality. And towards the end, I would open the session for Q&As, which can be moderated, maybe for, as Mr. Aratun said, that, if some school wants to open up this particular session in terms of this particular curriculum into the schools, what are the basic requirements? I'll just share that. And then, of course, we will be open for Q&As. 1 hour is too short for, of course, this kind of a session. So I'll leave my email IDs and, of course, numbers, etc., where you can get in touch, also to get details later on as well, in case you want to have a one-to-one. We'll be more than happy to do that. So without wasting any much time, I take this opportunity. So IIHM is International Institute of Hotel Management. We are the world's largest networked hospitality schools. We've got MOUs with about 70 countries, where we are directly engaged with student exchange, faculty exchange, curriculum exchange in these 70 countries that are happening, because we believe hospitality education is a global career, for a simple reason that you go and work in hotels and hotels you find everywhere in the world. So you have got hotels in America, you've got hotels in Australia, you've got hotels in Africa, in Russia, in New Zealand, wherever you go in the world, there are hotels, and that's exactly what our career is. So our career, or the education that we provide, takes our students and make them settle around the world. So that is why we are the largest networked hospitality college. I'll request my IT team to play a short IIHM intro video that will just give you a short glimpse about what the institute is all about. Because before I talk about hospitality education, because students study a 3-year graduation program with us, and after that they go and join different jobs around the world. Before I do this and share about careers, let me talk about what the college stands for. We are already in the cities of Calcutta, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Goa, Bangkok. We are in Samarkand, in Uzbekistan, and we are opening in Singapore soon. So we are one of the largest largest colleges in Southeast Asia. We've got about 9,000 students that are studying with us as I talk, enrolled in a 3-year degree program, and they join us immediately after class 12th. I'll request my IT team to play a short 1.5 minute video of IIHM. IT team, may we have the video, please?
IIHM, popularly known as the International Institute of Hotel Management, is one of the largest private hospitality institute that imparts world-class education and can firmly pride itself for being one of the most foremost academic institutions of the country that offer globally recognized international degrees in hotel management. Its campuses in Kolkata, Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Goa, Bangkok and Singapore are the nerve centers of profound knowledge hub and experience. The IIHM Global Center for Tourism and Hospitality Research, UNWTO Secretary General Zoraba Polali Khashwali, who praised IIHM as a leading bridge between academia and industry.
At the same time, the International Institute of Hotel Management has emerged as a true leader in the tourism excellence. It connects India's talented youth to the wider sector and the world.
IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad, with over 55 countries competing, is the largest culinary Olympiad in the world for students and chefs. The entire Young Chef Olympiad is managed and organized by the 10,000 students of the IIHM in its 10 campuses.
I come from a city where we have lots of big events, but this kind of energy is rarely seen. So thank you for making us a part of such a great event. I think it's something which Dr. Bose has started, which in years to come India would be proud of.
The IIHM College of Distinguished Fellows is another networking and knowledge platform where iconic hoteliers, chefs and experts from hospitality and tourism industry across the world have been conferred fellowships to create one of its kind college in the world.
It also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM. Having spent that much time, I can guarantee
students of IIHM often get opportunities to pursue internship programs at international hospitality brands anywhere in the world. Students of IIHM also find support and confidence from their alma mater to help them realize their dreams through the IIHM's SAHS Entrepreneur Program that supports innovative and startup idea that students of IIHM come up with. A corpus fund of Rs 25 crores support the SAHS initiative for funding IIHM entrepreneurs. IIHM has been awarded Great Place to Study and Best Indian Institute by Forbes in the last 4 successive years.
Right, so that was a short video. Now, when we talk about hospitality education, when we talk about careers in hospitality, when we talk about careers globally, today one of the most important things that we need to emphasize and imbibe in the students is sustainability. Sustainability is one of the key add-ons or the key drivers of the hospitality business. And that is why it is important that any student or anybody wanting to get into hospitality has to imbibe the word sustainability. Now, sustainability means, it would mean different things to different people. But when you contribute back to the society, when you add value to the society, and when you add value to the system, that is called sustainability. Sustainability means when you take care of your neighbors. Sustainability means when you take care of your parents. Sustainability means when you take care of the ecosystem that you operate in. And this is the basis of hospitality education. IIHM has been championing the cause of sustainability and sustainable education, where we emphasize research on sustainable platforms. For instance, European Union selected 4 best colleges in the world to conduct research in the field of hospitality on organic farms, farm to fork, and how to grow vegetables on a bed of rock. This research was done in order to assist countries where sun does not come out for 6 months, like Iceland, like Sweden and Norway. So these countries have to import their vegetables. And because of that, the cost goes very high. And so the students partnered, and from India, the European Union selected IIHM to conduct this research along with colleges in Sweden, Turkey, and France for organic farming, from farm to fork concepts, which is called now hydroponics, which we guys started 4 or 5 years ago. And our students went and participated in a research of how to grow vegetables on a bed of rock in LED lights under the sunlight. Keeping that in mind, this was the first time that Mr. Zurab Pululakishvili, the Secretary General of UNWTO, commended IIHM for its contribution to the hospitality sector of the world. Short 1-minute video, I'll request my IT team to play for Mr. Zurab Pululakishvili.
Dear friends, it's my great pleasure to greet you on World Tourism Day. I bring with me the best wishes of all UNWTO members, a community of 159 nations. We celebrate as the world cautiously reopens to travel. Now is the time to recognize our sector's essential role as a vehicle of sustainable and equal development. The theme of World Tourism Day 2021 is Tourism for Inclusive Growth. Today, we highlight the value of everyone involved in tourism, both visitors and the visited. India has always seen tourism as a vital part of social, economic, cultural and environmental advancement. You have also long been a valued ally of UNWTO. In 2019, Incredible India was host country for World Tourism Day. And your government has supported tourism through the biggest crisis in the history of the sector. At the same time, the International Institute of Hotel Management has emerged as a true leader in the tourism excellence. It connects India's talented youth to the wider sector and the world. Furthermore, the IIHM Global Center of Tourism and Hospitality Research is a forum that will enhance this unique relationship between hospitality, education and employers. Today, on World Tourism Day, UNWTO is proud to stand with the IIHM, and I'm honored to officially inaugurate the IIHM Global Center for Tourism and Hospitality Research on this historic occasion.
All right, so this was Mr. Zurab Pululakishvili inaugurating the IIHM Center of Global Tourism and Hospitality Research. And of course, now that we are aware about the basics of hospitality education and what college does, quickly now let me take you into the careers that you can join immediately after class 12. Pick up your paper and pens or copy and pens to note down all this information that I'm going to give you. So immediately after graduation, when you finish your 3 years of graduation, a lot of you feel that after doing hotel management as a subject, the only place where you can go and work is hotels, which is correct, but that's not the only place. There are so many lines where you can go, and today I'm going to give you all the information. So the first line that we're going to talk about is hotels, of course, hotels, where you can join immediately after graduation. Average salary, you can all write this down as I go by. Average salary in a hotel today ranges anywhere between 18,000 to 50,000 rupees per month, depends from person to person, ability to ability, capability to capability. This depends on your ability of the way you've done your interview. I'm sure you've heard about Ibis hotels or Fortis hotels, Red Fox hotels or Ibis hotels or Lemon Tree hotels. Now, these are 3-star hotels. Average, you can aim to become a general manager of this hotel within 6 years from the day you start working. So if you start working in this year, 6 years from now, you can aim to become a general manager of a 3-star hotel. Average salary of a general manager of an Ibis hotel is 1,50,000 to 1,70,000 rupees per month. This is the average salary that today you can get. My students have done it. IIHM students have proved themselves in 6 years. And that is why I quote the 6 years as a time frame. If they can do it, you can do it as well. I'm sure you've heard about Taj Palace or ITC Maurya in Delhi. Now, these are top of the 5-star hotels. Average salary of a general manager in an ITC Maurya is about 4,50,000 to 5 lakh rupees per month. This is the kind of salary that you can expect in hotels like ITC Maurya, top of the line 5-star hotels. I'm sure you've heard about Taj Hotels as a chain. The MD, the managing director of Taj Hotels is Mr. Puneet Chhatwal. You can note this name down because you can Google this information, what I'm going to give you. Mr. Puneet Chhatwal, CHAATWAL, Mr. Puneet Chhatwal. Mr. Puneet Chhatwal is the managing director of Taj Hotels. And if you Google and you write salary of Mr. Puneet Chhatwal on Google, Google will tell you it's about 13 crores per annum, which means he gets a salary of about 1 crore a month. Of course, in cash, in check, he gets about 7 to 8 crores. The rest is all in kinds. So the total money that he gets is about 12 crores, which means he gets 1 crore a month. And the reason I'm telling this to you is because you don't need to be an astronaut. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a doctor to earn 1 crore a month. In hospitality as well, people have done that. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who does hospitality will get 1 crore a month and will become Mr. Puneet Chhatwal. But all I'm saying is that is the kind of level that you can expect to go to. Understand, ours is a skill industry. It really doesn't matter whether you are a 50%er or a 90%er. So far, you've got the skills. You will always go up the ladder and you will grow. One simple question that I ask everybody, and is that you have been going to dine out into the restaurants. You go to your favorite restaurants. You go to your favorite hotels. You love the food. How many times have you called the chef and asked him how much marks did you get in food production? You went to the bakery. How many, you love the bakery, you buy the cakes. How many times you called the chef outside and asked him how much marks did you get in your bakery? No, none. Not even a single time. Why? Because we are a skill industry. Our skill is in our hands. So it's okay if you're a 50%er. It's okay if you're a 60%er. It's okay if you're a 100%er. Skill will talk for you. Skill will be doing the talking. And this is how you get the money. That is the kind of money that I'm talking about that you get in hotels. That is first line that I was talking about. Let me talk about the second line called restaurants. That is the second line that you can get into. Restaurants you can do two things. Either you can open up your own restaurant or you can join a restaurant. Now, let me talk about joining a restaurant. When I talk about restaurants, you will think about, the first thing that comes to your mind is Domino's, KFC, McDonald's. Now, these are not the restaurants I'm talking about. I'm talking about state-of-the-art restaurants. You can note this name down, Indian Accent. Indian Accent is a restaurant in Lodhi Hotel here in Delhi. And if two people call up today saying that we need a booking on the 8th of July, chances are that they will tell you, sir, we are blocked and booked till the 15th of July. Please choose a date after that. There is so much of requirement in the restaurant business. And if two people go and do lunch in Indian Accent, you will end up paying 6,500 per person to do lunch in this restaurant called Indian Accent. So two people doing lunch in Indian Accent will end up paying about 15,000 rupees for a lunch for two people in Indian Accent after a waiting of 15 days, and it is booked. You cannot walk into the restaurant like that. You have to make your reservations. So either you can get into the restaurant. The starting salary that my students got when they joined here about 4, 5, 6 years ago, Ravish was 25,000 starting with what they paid. Today, Ravish handles the Indian Accent restaurant in New York. So there are 2 Indian Accent restaurants, one in Delhi, one in New York. So he lives with his family in New York. He handles that restaurant. So, that's where restaurant can take you around the world. So that is restaurants for you. Now, the second bit that I was talking about is that you can open up your own restaurant. There is a huge myth here. And the myth is that to open my restaurant, I need 40 lakhs, I need 50 lakhs, I need 1 crore to open my restaurant. That's wrong. You can start your restaurant business in 2 lakh rupees. In 2 lakh rupees, you can start your restaurant business. You know how? Because all those food takeaway joints, the burger points, the chai points, the sandwich points that you see where they are takeaways, you can open that business in 2 lakh rupees and start your business. So that's another option that you can explore in restaurants. And a lot of my students have opened their restaurants in different parts of the country. They've opened food trucks, they've opened food joints, and they're making some good money. And they're really doing well, and they're expanding the business chains. They've grown up, and so many things have mushroomed. So that's another line. Now, there is nothing called 9 to 6. When I say this, it means hard work. You really need to put in a lot of hard work. You really need to put in effort. But yes, that's the line that you can explore immediately after graduation of restaurants. That's the second line that I was talking about. Let me talk about the third line. The third line that I'm going to talk about is bakery. Now, all of us love cakes and pastries. Patisserie or pastries or cakes, this is the most sought after professions in the world. You know why? Because wherever there is a marriage happening, whenever there is an event happening, whether it's a palace, whether it's a 5-star hotel, whether it's any event, desserts are something that we all drool over. Whenever we go to a 5-star hotel, the first visit we go is check not the main course, but we check the table where there are desserts. We check what are the pastries, we check what are the sweets to offer, all the sweet tooths that we have, and that's exactly why bakery chefs are the most sought after chefs in the world. You know why? Because you do not go to the bakery because of the ambience. You do not go to the bakery because of the person standing behind the counter. You do not go to the bakery because of that, because of the total ambience of the shop. You go to the bakery because of the taste. And this is why a bakery will never let a bakery chef go or resign. My friend Manish, who works in London, we graduated together. He heads the patisserie division of Hilton UK. He oversees 22 Hilton hotels in UK. His average salary package is he gets about 12 lakh rupees per month. Of course, he gets in euros and pounds, but that's the kind of money. Thrice in his career is put in his resignation, and every time he resigns, the MD for UK hotels calls him, speaks to him and gives him a hike and says, get back to work, we're not letting you go. Because this is a skill you cannot replicate. This is not something that somebody else can do. The skill that I have to bake, nobody else can do that because it's my skill. It cannot be stolen. And this is why bakery is one of the most sought after professions in the world. Today, in a cruise line, if you go, bakery chefs, starting with just 2 years of experience, are being paid about 3 to 3.5, 4 lakh rupees a month. This is the kind of salary that you get as bakery chefs in the world. And that's bakery for you. Now, let me talk about bars. Okay, so bars is another profession. There are 2 things that you can get. You can either become a bartender or you can become a wine sommelier. Now, let me tell you what is the profession like. Bartender is a guy who stands behind the bar counter and who makes cocktails and mocktails. Today in India, average a bartender is earning about 70,000 to 75,000 rupees a day. In one day today, a bartender is earning 75,000 per day. And so either you can become a bartender or you can become a wine sommelier. Now, what is a wine sommelier? Wine. So I'm sure you all are aware that wine is made out of grapes. So when wine is made, it is stored in a cellar for about 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 50 years, 30, 40 years, 100 years. And then it is taken out and then it is bottled. Before this is bottled, there is a character called a sommelier who tastes the wines and decides whether the wine needs to be bottled or not bottled. That's his profession. You know how much he gets? Today, a wine sommelier gets anywhere between 7 to 10 lakh rupees a month. And of course, I'm not saying the second day you graduate, somebody's going to make you a check of 7 lakhs and say, okay, that's where you go, Simran, ji lo apni zindagi. That doesn't happen like that. You really need to work hard and put in a lot of effort. you need to take 10 years to train your palate. Your palate, you need to train it for 10 years. So 10 years of study, and then you reach that level. But what do? You work in a vineyard. And what is a vineyard? A lot of you possibly are not aware as to what a vineyard is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a small 1-minute video about what a vineyard looks like. You work in this vineyard, doing what? Tasting wines. And you get paid at the end of the day 10 lakh rupees. That's the profession. A lot of our students from India are working in vineyards around the world, because you don't get vineyards in India. In India, you'll only get vineyards in Nasik. Apart from that, you'll get vineyards in France, in Germany, and so many parts of the world. So, and just to give you a glimpse where our students are working, I'm going to share this video with you, 1 minute, and show you what this video is all about. And this is a vineyard where our students are working. Here you go.
Across 8 generations, I'm the 3rd woman to direct the property. And I feel I'm inheriting a history which doesn't belong to me. It has to be passed on.
First of all, you have to love being a winemaker. That's to say, go to the vineyards, understand nature, love it, listen to it. I conceive and imagine the happiness of those who love wine.
Here in Saint-Emilion, we have types of soils that will vary from one plot to another, even from time to time within the same plot. So you have to know your vineyard and its different types of soils well to get the results that you want.
The first rays of autumn shine on the city of Saint-Emilion. Perched on hills of limestone and clay, the vineyard tells a 2,000-year history of wine. At the centuries-old Angelus estate, each harvest brings a new vintage and hopes of a Grand Cru.
As the weather is still good, we can continue to pick only the grapes that are ripe and ready.
So this is the kind of office that you work in. If you get into a vineyard, this is the kind of office that you go in and you work. And that's exactly, the kind of profession that I'm talking about, which you can expect, to work and to settle. And that's exactly what the wine industry is all about. So that's wines or bars for you. That's the other line that I was talking about. Now, the next line that I'm going to talk about is catering. You can get into catering as well. Average, so now this is a myth, which a lot of you are not aware. But let me share with you that average profitability in the food business is 70%, average profitability, which means if you buy a thali of 100 rupees, 30 rupees is the cost and 70 rupees is the profit. Now, this is the average profitability I'm talking about. Now, let me show you the money here too, because a lot of you don't understand. Of course, I mean, because you don't deal with caterers every day, you would not know the kind of money caterers make. And 1 minute, I'm going to share with you and I'm going to give you this information and show you the money that is there in catering business. So, if you organize and you start working in a catering business, because you are new, you will do 50-50, 50% profit, 50% cost, because you're starting new, right? So with that calculation, 50% profit, 50% cost, if you organize a marriage as a caterer, today the per plate rate in India is average 1,000 rupees. Now, it starts with 700 rupees a plate and it goes to about 13,000 rupees a plate. This is what is the going rate today. But you will agree to me that, average today a caterer is charging is about 1,000 rupees per plate. That is what he's charging. So with that calculation, if you organize a marriage for 400 people into 1,000 rupees will be 4 lakh rupees that you're going to charge. 50% is the profit. 50% of 4 lakhs is 2 lakhs. So your profit in a marriage for a caterer is 2 lakh rupees per marriage. And as a caterer, you can do about 20 marriages a month. You can organize 20 marriages a month. So with that calculation, 20 marriages into 2 lakh rupees profit is 40 lakh profit in a month. This is the kind of money I'm talking about that you get in catering business, but it's hard work. You know why? Because marriages go till 2 o'clock in the morning. And because there is a marriage the next day, you need to be in the vegetable market at 4 o'clock in the morning to pick up fresh vegetables. because your taste in the food will come only when you pick up fresh vegetables. So you cannot buy in bulk and store. And that is why you need to go to the vegetable bulk market at 4 in the morning. So you sleep only for 2 hours a day. Now, if that's the kind of hard work you're willing to do, catering business is another one for you that you can explore. So that's another profession for you. Now, let me talk about another one. The next profession I'm going to talk about is aviation. Just to let you know, aviation business is very, very intriguing and interesting. Average start salary today that aviation is paying. Indigo Airlines is recruiting our students and paying a salary of 40,000 rupees a month. Recently, Etihad Airlines, Emirates Airlines have done a recruitment for cabin crews. The salary they've paid is, Etihad is paid 88,000 rupees starting, plus accommodation, plus food, which comes to about 1.5 lakh rupees per month gross. So the salary that you get is 1.5 lakh rupees per month immediately after graduation in aviation as a cabin crew. So this is one bit that you can get into after hotel management, or you can get into ground force. Now, a lot of students will come back to you and say that I can't become an air hostess or I can't become an air steward because of so many reasons that my height is an issue, my weight is an issue, etc., etc. Don't lose heart. You know why? Because you can get into ground force. You know what's a ground force? When you go to the airport, there is this people who are checking you over the counter, taking your luggage, fining you for extra baggage, etc., etc. And they're taking you to the aircraft, making you board the flight. That's called ground force. Starting salary in a ground force starts from 15,000, but it goes up. You know what's the ladder? The ladder is that from that route, you can become an airport airline manager through that route. Precisely, our students have taken 7.5 years from ground force check-in counter to become an airport airline manager. The salary of an airport airline manager in the city of Ahmedabad is 1,75,000. The salary of an airport airline manager in a city like Delhi is about 5 lakh rupees per month for an airline called Indigo. So this is the kind of money I'm talking about. So even if you want to get into aviation and you cannot get into cabin crew, you can get into ground force. And this is the kind of money you can expect. It'll take you about 7.5 years to become an airport airline manager. So if you join Indigo as a check-in counter or as a ground crew, a ground force, 7.5 years, you can become an airport airline manager for Indigo. Salary will be about 4 lakhs, 3.5, 4 lakhs. In Delhi, competition is tough. I'm not saying that the day you graduate, the second day, somebody going to make you a check of 7 lakhs and give it to you and, ask you to enjoy life. It's not like that. You really need to work hard, but that's the career line that you can get into. So that's exactly aviation for you. Now, let me talk about cruise lines. Now, this is another line where our students go massively and they are working. Now, cruise line, the moment you join cruise line, the starting salary that cruise is paying today is 75,000 rupees a month. This is the starting. Once you join cruise lines, you can aim to grow in a cruise and your salary can get to as high as 3.5, 4 lakhs within 2 to 3 years, because a lot of people leave the cruise lines for a simple reason that not everybody can live away with families. This is one of the drawbacks, but cruise line is a holiday forever. I mean, I call hospitality industry Sundays forever. You know why? Because when you go to a 5-star hotel, all of you must have gone to 5-star hotels. If you go to Burj Al Arab, let's say, if you go to Dubai and you holiday in Burj Al Arab, you will plan 6 months in advance because you need to see your school holidays to all the principals. You need to see your school holidays, right? You can't just go in the middle of the examinations. So you have to go in summer holidays. Okay, everybody is nodding and saying, yes, we can't go during exams. Obviously, exams, you can't go and enjoy in Burj Al Arab. So in Burj Al Arab, if you want to holiday, you have to go in June holidays. Summer holidays, we just got finished. Unfortunately, they just come for 1 month and they finish very fast. That's the whole idea of June holidays. So you plan 6 months in advance to holiday in Burj Al Arab for a period of 4 or 5 days. And you end up paying 5 lakh rupees for that 5-day holiday in Burj Al Arab, which is a 7-star hotel. 6 months of planning, 5 days of holiday, and you pay from your pocket 5 lakh rupees for that enjoyment and you come back. This is for you. For us, for hoteliers, it's 24/7, 365 days a year because we work there. The place where you go and stay and pay 5 lakh rupees for 5 days, we stay there for entire year. We have a breakfast, lunch and dinner there. We have our tea there. That is our office, and we get paid at the end of the month. And this is why I call my industry as the Sundays forever, because where you go on holiday and enjoy is my office, is the place where I work. Office for you is a cubicle and a cabin where you sit with files, with a tube light and a fan and an AC, and with a lot of issues and problems that you handle throughout the day. Of course, that's the office that you have. Office for us are hotels where you go on holiday. That's our office. So cruise lines, I'm going to show you a small video, and I'm going to show you our office. And I want you, all of you, so many people on the, 541 people currently logged in, compare it to your offices. What I'm going to compare, I'm not making you jealous, by the way. Our apologies for making you jealous early in the morning in July when you just joined back after a good summer vacation. But I'll just show you my office, the kind of office that we work in, the kind of office hoteliers work in. When you go and spend 5 days in a cruise and end up paying 3 lakh rupees per person, or maybe 5 lakh rupees per couple for a holiday in Mediterranean cruise on a cruise line for 7 days, for us, that's our office. So I'm going to show you my office. I'm going to show you the place where I work. I'm going to show you the office where we work, what we call office, what hoteliers call office, and what we get paid for. The thing is that one cruise lines, one group finishes, and we say bye-bye, and you go back to your offices. Another group boards in, and we start again holidaying. So let me show you my office, and let me show you the career that I'm pitching. Let me show you the life of cruise lines. Let me show you the life of what hoteliers live. Let me show you our offices. And I want you all to compare your beautiful offices with my beautiful office. And let's see who wins. All right, there you go.
Cozumel, Mexico, on day 6 of our 7-day Western Caribbean cruise with Royal Caribbean on the beautiful oasis of the seas. This ship is absolutely incredible. In fact, it's so big, it's hard to even fathom that you're on a ship. You don't have hardly any sensation of motion. This ship is 1,186 feet long. It is 17 stories tall, although there's not a 13th deck. Apparently, there's this maritime folklore where if you have a 13th deck on a ship, it's bad luck. So they just literally skip from 12 to 14. The ship is 216 feet wide at its widest point. It drafts 30 feet in the water. It's capable of close to 30 miles an hour.
Nelly is so cool. She can do.
All right, so that was a video that I was playing from the YouTube. So an ad came in, apologies for that. But that's the kind of office that we have. And that's cruise lines for you. So this is the kind of career that I'm offering. And this is the kind of career that our students go and work from India all over the world. And this is the career that you get. Immediately after graduation, what you get is about 75,000 rupees starting as a salary. And of course, if you can stay in here for a longer time, your salary goes high as 2.5 lakh rupees. So that's the kind of, opportunity that you have. So this is cruise line. Now let me take you in another career, and that is oil refineries. Our students are working in oil refineries as well. Interestingly, average starting salary that our students get immediately after graduation in an oil refinery is about 1 lakh rupees a month. So, there are about 2,000 people working in an oil refinery. They need to be fed with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Who makes that? Chefs. Chefs make that. And that is where chefs go and work. It's difficult because obviously, oil refineries are in the middle of the ocean. That is called oil rigs, and or in the middle of the desert. So our students work there. In an oil rig, which is in the middle of the ocean, interestingly, just to let you know that there in one oil rig, there are 30 people who can work. 30 people work there, and on every 30 people, so there is not one oil rig. In an ocean, there are about 30, 40 oil rigs. So rig is one rig where oil drilling happens. That is where our students work, because 30 people live there. And those 30 people, there are 2 chefs on 30 people who make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those. The international law for an oil rig is that 27 days you need to be in an oil rig and 27 days you have to go back home. That's an international law. And you get paid for both. So when you are working in a rig, you get paid. When you come back home for 27 days, you get paid and you can spend that money. And then after 27 days, you can go back because there's something called seasickness. So in order to avoid that, and in order to avoid, because throughout the day you are hearing the drilling sound, the machine sound, and you're smelling fumes, as in, that little bit of diesel fumes or crude fuel that you there. So that's an international law. A lot of our students go and work there. Initial 5 years of their career. You know how much they get? lakh rupees per month. 1 lakh per month is the starting that you get immediately after graduation. In an oil rig, our students go and work. They're working in Shell, they're working in Dammam, they're working in so many other oil rigs in Middle East where students go. Every 27 days, they come back to Delhi or to Calcutta or to Bangalore or to Pune, wherever they are in their houses. After 27 days, they fly back. So that's another career for you. So that's oil rigs for you. Let me talk about another career, which is called event management. Another line for you. Our students are getting into event management. That's another line. Just to let you know, IFA Awards, all of you watch that and I also watch it. It is organized by an event management company called Vizcraft. And you organize that, you work in an event management company. Starting salary that they pay to our students as interns that they pick up is 40,000 rupees a month. 40,000 rupees a month as starting, which Vizcraft as a company pays after graduation when they pick up our students. After that, there's no end limit. It's endless. So that's, event management for you. So you can get into event management as well. And you can open up your own event management company as well. Students can open their own event management company. There's a myth that to open your event management company, you need 1 crore rupees. You know how much you need to open an event management company? 12,000 rupees. Only. All you need is a smartphone. All you need is a smartphone. Because event management company is what? Connecting 2 people together. That's event management. You need to be good in talking. So event managers can do their business from their own drawing rooms, from their own dining rooms, from their own dining table. They can do their business. They don't need an office. They need to be good in talking. And with 1 mobile phone, 12,000 smartphone, they can start the business. So that's event management for you. Let me give you another example of what you can do after hotel management, and that is facility management. Facility management, time is short, so I'm hurrying up. Facility management, there are 3 things that you can get and do in facility management. One is hospitals. You can join a hospital. You can note this name down, Mr. Rana Das Gupta. You can note it down, Google a bit about him. You will know that Mr. Rana Das Gupta, he is the CEO of Apollo Hospitals. Apollo Hospitals, we've all heard his name, all heard the name of hospitals, big hospital, right? Apollo Hospital. He's the CEO of Apollo Hospitals. He is not a doctor by profession. He's a hotel management graduate. After doing graduation, hotel management, he's handling a hospital called Apollo Hospitals. He's the CEO. So if he can do it, any hotelier can do it. Because hospitals, managing a hospital is about managing a unit. There are food courts. There is food business there. There is upkeep. There is cleanliness. There is hygiene. There is management. That's what you've got to do. You need to be good, right? Imagine there is a patient who's just come out of, who's just come out of a heart operation, and you serve him butter chicken masala immediately after his operation. What will happen? He'll go back again to the operation theater very soon. So in order to avoid that, there are hoteliers to handle this food. And that is where you come in. That is where hoteliers come in. So you get into hospitals, number 1, in facility management. Number 2, you get into malls, mall management. So mall management, all the top malls of the world, 60% of the workforce, 60% of the workforce, 60 to 65% of the workforce is hoteliers who are handling the operations of a mall. There are some malls where we love to go. There is some event happening, some, song happening, some band playing, some activity happening in the mall. Who's organizing that? The mall managers. And who are the mall managers? Hoteliers. Average salary of a good mall manager in a place like the Mall of Emirates or Dubai is about 5 to 6 lakh rupees a month. That is the kind of money I'm talking about. Maybe more, I may be wrong, but about 5 to 6 lakhs you get as a mall manager. In India, the salary of a mall manager of a good mall that's doing good work will range anywhere between 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month. Depends on what kind of a mall it is. So that's the kind of money I'm talking about you get as a mall manager. And the third part under facility management is that you can also become, you can work in a company like American Express, Wipro, Tata Consultancy Services. So in TCS, in Tata Consultancy Services, in one building, there are about 4,000 people working. So there are food courts, there are restaurants, there is hygiene, there is cleanliness, the bathrooms are spick and span, the floors are spick and span, the restaurants are shining, the food is amazing. Who's handling that? Hoteliers. Average salary, anywhere between 1.5 to 4.5 lakh rupees a month as a facility manager in a company like TCS. You're on a package of 60 to 80 lakh rupees annually. That's the kind of money you get in facility management. So this is one line. You can get into travel and tourism as well. Travel and tourism is another line where you can explore if you love traveling around the world. So these are the few lines. Of course, I can go on for the next 3 hours also about careers, but time is short. So this is majorly what hospitality is all about. Now, when a lot of students will come to you to ask you about career professions, they will ask you one question because they ask me. I do a lot of school career seminars. I travel to schools all over the country. Our teams, we've got campuses across Calcutta, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Goa. So all our, colleges send teams to do these career seminars, and a lot of students, class 11 and 12 students, come and ask us this one question that which I'm sure they ask you as well, and they will ask you, will I be successful in hospitality? This is one question they ask. So there are 5 questions that I would ask you to ask them. If the answer of these 5 questions or 4 questions is yes, they can blindly come into this profession. Question number 1, do you love traveling? That is question number 1. Question number 2, do you love meeting people and interacting with them? That's question number 2. Number 3, do you love traveling around the world? That's number 3. That's number 4. Do you really love helping people around? And number 5, do you really love tasting good food, and do you understand or do you want to enjoy tasting food and get in the habit of tasting food, good food? If the answer to all these 5 questions is yes, they can blindly come into this industry called hospitality. Please understand, to all the principals who are there, our profession, hospitality, is not a profession where we need 90%ers. We are okay. If somebody is a 40%er, we are fine. Skill. He should be good in making food. He should be good in making cocktails. He should be good in his palate in tasting wines. So far he can do that. He'll be successful and he'll earn a lot of money. A lot of my students who are 50, 55%ers today are earning a package of 51 lakhs. My students who graduated last year, 2022, are already in America on a package of 51 lakh rupees. They are being paid $22 an hour in America, which means $198 a day, which comes to about 16,500 rupees a day, which comes to about 4,35,000 rupees a month, which comes to 51 lakh rupees a year. That's the package. 2022 pass out. You know what we need? We need commitment, we need passion, and we need madness. This is exactly what we need for hospitality. As far as I think running this profession in your schools is concerned, well, there is not too much of investment required in running this field. All you got to do is, of course, you need to have teachers. You need to have, your infrastructure, basic, I'm sure home science, a lot of schools have the home science labs. That is sufficient enough, because in a school, what's expected is not that you make them perfect in hospitality. For that, hospitality colleges are there. We are there. When they come, they study 3 years hotel management. We will give them finesse. You need to give them the basic. The curriculum that you have that has been developed by your board, I've seen that, and we've seen that curriculum. That's perfect. That's basic. That's just to give them an inclination that yes, they can. So a lot of students who come to us are also from science backgrounds. In our campuses, currently we have 90%ers from science, but the passion was cooking. And that is why they're doing food production. And that is why they have joined hotel management. So please don't take me wrong that only and only somebody who will, of course, it's great if students study from 10th onwards. But it's not specific to home science students. It's a myth because we are getting students from science side as well. I have got, and I can share so many list of students who are 95%ers in science, have joined hotel management and doing great in the industry. They're minting money. They've opened up their own restaurants. They were good in baking. They've opened up their own bakery shops. Marks have nothing to do with hospitality. Of course, I'm not saying, I don't know, I could see some students here. So guys, I'm not saying that you stop studying, all right? After the call, you'll say, Abdullah sir said not to study. That's not what I'm saying. You need to study, you need to work hard, you need to understand your sessions and lessons well. But eventually, what will talk and what will give you success is your skills in your hands. When you stand on the baking table, marks, nobody will ask. But when you make that cake, they will taste and they will say how good. So your hands will do the talking. So you need to be good in skills. And that's exactly what this profession is. So when a student who graduated last year, 2022, can earn a package of 51 lakhs today in America, and it's reality, we can connect you to those students if you want. Earning $22 an hour, anybody can. And they are normal students, they're not 90%ers. Somebody was a 50%er, somebody was a 60%er, somebody was a 68%er. They were good in what they did. They were passionate. And that's why, so whether the student is from science, whether he's from commerce, whether he's from arts or humanities, anybody can get successful in hospitality. So far, they answer the 5 questions that I asked you. So you can open up these labs. It will be great if you can give this education in your schools, because I think keeping the national education policy is the vision of the government as well to promote skilling. After BCom, how many of them will get a visa in America? Tell me. Again, I'm not demeaning the course, please. These are good courses. I'm talking purely in light of hospitality. So in the light of hospitality, after doing BCom, America will not give you a visa. After doing BCom, Australia will not give you a visa. India will not give you a job after BCom. You have to do some masters and PhDs to get a job. But after doing hotel management, America will give you a visa in one shot. New Zealand will give you a visa in one shot. Australia will give you a visa in one shot. You know why? Because there is a requirement there. There are no people. People are not there. There are no chefs. There's a dearth of chefs. There's a dearth of people to do service. Housekeeping staff. They aren't getting people to make their rooms. Restaurants are shutting down all over the world because they don't have staff. And that is why America is paying $22 an hour for students, and they're poaching from India. Every year, thousands and lakhs of students after doing hospitality are going to America and Australia to do hospitality and work there and earn $22 an hour. Why? And these are none of them is 90%. All are average, 50, 55%. They're committed to what they've done. And they're going and they're earning 51 lakhs. It's okay. So far, they are sending money home and they're earning 51 lakhs. That's what we want. So this is what the profession is all about. I think there is a very nominal investment you need to do. As far as kitchen is concerned, there'll be a little bit of investment on the kitchen, of course, because if you plan to open a home science lab and train culinary, that's something you would need to do a little bit of investment on your gas and ranges, maybe a batch of 10 with 5 ranges or 5 gas, ranges of 2 burners each will be enough for a food production lab. So basic investment of cutlery, crockery, F&B and housekeeping, you don't need anything. F&B can happen in your restaurant or in your cafeteria or a small, teachers, there are places where I have seen in schools where there are these places where teachers have their meals, those small areas. So those can be converted when teachers are not having meals. Those can be converted in a restaurant operations. All you need is basic cutlery, crockery, 3 dozen. That's it. 3 dozen cutlery, crockery of plates and crockery and cutlery, 3 dozen. That's it. And you're good to go. For housekeeping, or I'm sure all of you have got a medical room and you've got a bed there. Your housekeeping practicals will happen there. You don't need to invest in anything. Your medical room can be converted into a housekeeping lab. Your front office lab, you just need a class. All you need in front office is a system to teach the student the kind of softwares or basics about front office, currency, capitals, airlines. That can be done in an SUPW hall or a classroom, any classroom that is empty that can be taken for front office lab. Not required. All you need is a software. 1 laptop is done, sorted. So investment is bare minimum. Time is short, so I won't be able to explain more. I'll request my team to put on our website, etc. Here. And of course, I'm getting some questions, fee structure, exam certification. I have put on my website, iihm.ac.in. You can log in there. All the information is there. Fee structure as ranges. We've got different fee structures. We've got 1-year courses, 6 months courses. They range between 40,000-50,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. The 1-year courses, the short courses. The 3-year graduation program will be about 2 lakh per year, which is about 6 lakhs for the entire program. So there are different programs. I'll request my colleague Samir to put in the website, to put in my email ID for any queries and questions you have. We'll be happy to answer those. And in case you have one-to-one questions or you want us as a, we have, by the way, just to let you know, we've got campuses in Calcutta, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Goa. So in case you've got your schools in any of these locations, we can also give you our labs where you can bring in your students and let them practice during our downtimes or during our free days. That can be worked out. So you don't need to invest in a kitchen. If you want, you use our facility. We've got state-of-the-art kitchens that we have. Use those. I mean, in the evenings or possibly on Saturdays, we can figure out. So you can write it to me. My mail ID is has been mentioned on the chat box, and Samir is putting the FB page of IHM Hotel Schools. So you can go on the Facebook page and like the page so that you can follow us. Any queries, you can give it to your board, Mr. Aratun, and they can tell us, or you can just send us an email with a copy to Mr. Aratun, and we'll be happy to respond back so that it's a faster communication. I think hospitality is a great career line. And we've also put our toll-free number here. You can copy this as well for any further queries, questions. And of course, if you want our teams to visit your schools, we'll be more than happy to guide them. One question that a lot of them ask is, why are we subject matter experts in this profession? Why? Because, in a university, the difference between us and a university, I'll just tell you that quickly. Time is already 12. So the difference is that in a university, they have got 200 courses, and one course out of those 200 courses is hotel management. So the concentration of the university management is on 200 courses. So its concentration is 200 by 1 on hotel management. With us, it's only hotel management. And that is why we focus 100% on hotel management. And that is why we are one of the most largest networked hospitality colleges in the world. We've got 70 countries that we've tied up with. We have got the largest offices around the world where our students are settled. We send our students for international options in second year to Middle East, to Maldives, to Dubai, Oman, Doha, France, Seychelles, Singapore, China, Malaysia, Maldives. In the second year of the graduation, students go and do internship, which is a 6 months internship in a 5-star hotel, and they come back. We call IT, that is called industrial training. So second year, we send our students in India and abroad all over the world. And in the third year, we send our students for international options. After the third year, they have the options to complete the third year from Canada, from London, from Switzerland, from Germany, a lot of international options that we have. So I think a lot of international options that we give. I wish I had more time. It's already 12:02 by my studio watch. And that was 1 hour that was given to me. I hope I could make you realize the importance of hospitality as a career. And I could also show you my office, and you'll have ample time to compare it to your offices, which I'm sure are equally beautiful. But my office will, the offices that we work in, I call it Sundays forever, because where you holiday is what our office is. So with this, I end the session here. Thank you so very much for listening to me so very patiently. I thank you to all the principals for joining in. Thank you to CISEE. Thank you, Mr. Aratun, for calling us here and giving us this opportunity to tell you who we are, what we do, and how we do. We're very proud of what we do. We're very proud of how we deliver hospitality education. And we're very, very proud of sending students who have settled around the world and bringing smiles on the faces of the parents. And that's what makes us feel proud. Thank you, and back to the team in CISE headquarters. Thank you.
So as we say, any opportunity to learn and explore is always a good opportunity. We would like to express our appreciation to Mr. Abdullah Ahmed and his team for sparing time from their busy schedule and giving us this opportunity. We would also like to thank all our heads of schools, teachers, and students who've taken time out of their busy schedules and have joined this webinar today. They've definitely added a spark to this webinar. Thank you, students, and thank you, heads of schools and teachers. We hope that this session has been helpful. If you have any questions, any suggestions, please write to CISC. You all have our email IDs. Once again, on behalf of CISC, we would like to express our sincere thanks to all of you. And we've seen there some questions. The qualifications, in case schools are interested in introducing this subject in their school at classes 10 and 12 levels, please write to us. We will share the qualifications of teachers, and there are some reference material that we can share with the interested schools, which will help you start the subject as soon as possible. And also, I must mention, the lab requirements have been made available on the CISC website. So please feel free to write to us for any further clarification or for any suggestions. So thank you so much. Have a very, very good day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.